Hi Sag, got a mid-May reading for you. Let's get into it. So, Mercury and Venus, both in Gemini, opposite you. Okay. Okay, Sag. So, there's a lot of despair surrounding a certain relationship at the moment. And if it's not to do with a certain relationship, it's about whether a certain relationship is going to manifest itself. The South Node is in your sign, and Sagittarius, this is the time where, if I didn't already know that you already know better, I'd probably take my time to really break it down and be like, Sagittarius, sometimes when we turn a blind eye to certain things, they kind of accumulate. And when it gets too much, the natural balance is thrown off. And the rest of the things in our life naturally get thrown off too. Mid-May, Venus, Mercury, in a sign opposite to you. You've given this opportunity to clear up certain messes that you have been ignoring for way too long. And a lot of these are things that are within yourself. Unresolved trauma that kind of takes over in those moments between you and you. Could it be just as you're about to sleep or just when you're waking up? When you wake up in the morning, what is the first thing that goes through your mind? What is the mood that you wake up in, Sagittarius? You are being offered, I want to say, a chance, Sagittarius. Here is a cup. Here is an opportunity. I don't think you need that invitation from an external source, Sagittarius. So when I say that there's an invitation, it might be the invitation that you need to give yourself. You are being asked to fall in love with yourself and to stop being so cruel to yourself. And maybe examine some of that self-talk or the behaviors that you engage in when nobody else is watching. How nice have you been to yourself recently, Sagittarius? How true are the things that you tell yourself? How honest have you really been to yourself about the way things are around you? And now that Mercury and Venus are across the way to you, and soon the Sun will be the furthest it's ever going to be from you. Clear out some of this bad energy, huh? Be kinder to yourself. Get your confidence back. Start falling in love with yourself. Because no one, and I promise you this, is ever gonna love you more than you gotta love yourself. And I tell you what, that's perhaps the most important love. That's probably the love that you really need. So stop externalizing your power. Stop seeking it from outside. And kind of own up to a few things. Aries energy, me first, headstrong, in charge. Where are you not owning your power? And where are you trying to give your power away? Just so you don't have to take responsibility for a few things. Just so that you can perhaps find this concept of love when all along that's the love you should have been giving yourself. Mars in Cancer, it's cardinal and it's water. And that could be a whole freaking tsunami if you let it. But it will bring up things like your shortcomings, or where life has led you to a less than space or a less than place than you may have anticipated to be in. And when that tsunami hits, it'll suck you all the way down to the bottom of the ocean and drown you. Careful of what you tell yourself right now. Careful of how those unresolved traumas are playing out right now. If you're not clearing it up, Sagittarius, can you expect the best? Can you expect the situation to be any better than this? You gotta own up. You gotta man up to this. Get in charge. Get in charge of these feelings and these thoughts and control them. Because you're the only one who can. And if there is a whole load of woe is me and a whole bunch of excuses, Sagittarius, like, really, it gets a bit like, it just gets a bit like, okay, how long are you going to put this off? And how long are you going to ride around in circles before it's like screaming blatantly obvious to you that the only thing that needs to change at this point is you and what you tell yourself and how you treat yourself? What are we talking about, Mars and Cancer? I feel like this is going to be a big transit for you, you know. It's about owning up to this emotional baggage that's kind of been left unexamined, tucked under the carpet, and now it's sort of manifested a life of its own, and you're beginning to see the evil side of it, and now this negativity has creeped into your own mind, and you're really being asked to grab life by the reins, take a bit of charge, move in a new directions, try something different this time, Sagittarius, like healing. Like not needing to look for love, but being the love. Being the love. Like maybe even getting some exercise. Ooh, that card flew all the way at the bottom of the desk. Emotional losses that are still really present. Emotional losses and how your attention is so focused on all of the things that it shouldn't be on, because the minute you decide to turn around and look at what you still have, you also see this bridge that leads you across that stream. The funny thing about ignoring trauma is that it sits there and festers and it grows into a bigger thing than what it was. And the time now is kind of moving on, you know? The time is about moving on, cleaning the mess, taking accountability, being responsible for your heart and your soul and your peace of mind and your energy, and claiming back your birth-given right to sovereignty and ownership to this life that is yours. Nobody else's. It's yours, Sagittarius. And you owe yourself a clean slate. So decide when this full moon lunar eclipse takes place on the 26th in your sign, that yes, it's going to bring up a lot of painful shit that you should have really walked away from a long time ago, but you're gonna have to surrender. You're gonna have to surrender these toxic bonds, these karmic toxic things that have just sucked the life out of you because you've held on to something for way too long. And the time is, with this lunar eclipse, to just move on from it, because whatever it is, it's not satiating you anyway. So what are you crying about? What are you crying over? Bottom of the deck is the moon card. Okay. If that's not the synchronicity of the lifetime, I don't know what is. But this full moon lunar eclipse in your sign at the end of the month, South Node in your sign, is the wake-up call of the century. You've got to go in pursuit of the liberated, the fun, the free, the self-sufficient, the content, the happy, the sovereign version of you. And if you're plugged in to a feeling of loss, and if you're heavily focused on everything that hasn't worked out, isn't going to work out, wasn't working out, isn't working out, la 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 la, move on and go and find what satiates you. It's your responsibility, and stop being tied and bound to traumas that you are so responsible for cleaning up. Jupiter in Pisces. Fantasies becoming realities. The truth. The truth. The simple, sweet truth. That kind word that you seek, the hug that you seek, the love that you seek, you must give to yourself first. Nobody will save you. You must save yourself. And by liberating yourself and grabbing life by the reins and actually taking charge and moving forward in a way that you may have been too afraid to do so before, but is only really going to come once you finally decide to heal up those traumas and take full ownership and accountability of your energy and the fact that you're mighty powerful, and this full moon in your sign is only going to highlight exactly how powerful you are. The time is now. Do the work. Illuminate yourself. Take charge. Take charge. I think that's all I have for you, Sagittarius. If you'd like to book a reading, visit www.rubyreadstarot.com. I love you guys so much. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up and let me know where you're watching from. Take care, guys. Bye-bye now.